Hi there, welcome back to a new video. So in this video I want to talk about facing, and that's a concept which is mentioned in one of Claire Wicks's books. So what I'll do is I'll just read you out this little short passage. Okay, so facing. Facing means acknowledging that cure must come from inside you, with guidance and help from outside, of course, but fundamentally by your effort, and this means by your facing the things you fear. Recovery lies in the places and experiences feared. Facing also means not shying away from nervous symptoms for fear of making them worse. Shying away is running away, not facing. Recently I met a striking example of not facing in a Canadian who panicked when away from home and who was consequently afraid to travel any distance from home, either alone or accompanied. His therapist encouraged him to go out as far as he could without panicking. If he panicked, and he surely would, he was told to return home and repeat the journey later, still going only as far as he could with comfort. The therapist's aim was for the patient to become so used to that particular journey they could eventually make it without panic. This man managed so well, he decided to spend his holiday in the United States. He spent 2 weeks in Las Vegas and did not panic. He returned home in triumph. The next day he went down to his bank, the same bank he had visited so often when ill. He stood on the old familiar spot in the queue, and as he handed his bank book to the same teller, the one with the thick-rimmed glasses, memory smote, and he panicked. And this time it was a smasher, because with the return of panic came despair. He had managed so well before going away, and yet all he needed to do now was simply stand in the queue in his own bank for panic to sweep once more. No wonder he despaired and thought, what can I do now? He was desolate. He had found peace only by getting used to. He had never faced panic, had never learnt how to cope with it fully. He had been taught to avoid it, tried to quieten it, never had to pass through until it no longer mattered. It is true that some people feel they have been helped by avoiding, but they are vulnerable to returns of panic. At the return of even a slight spasm, their brave little flag can crumble. I stress again and again that in place of an inner voice that says hopefully, perhaps it won't happen here, there must be a supporting voice that says, it doesn't matter if it does happen here. It just doesn't matter anymore. You can cope with it. The voice that says, perhaps it won't, is the sword of Damocles. I think I've pronounced that wrong. Maybe I butchered it, but anyway. While I never teach the getting used to technique to people afraid of travelling away from home, called agoraphobic, it has its place in treating people with specific phobias, such as fear of cats, thunderstorms, heights, and so on. Behaviourists build a program of graduated exposure to a feared object that can not only relieve but often cure this kind of phobia. Also, it is possible to get so used to some nervous symptoms that they no longer matter. Then without the stress of mattering, they may of course calm, even disappear. I also said facing means accepting that cure must come from within oneself and not from some permanent outside crutch. This means recognizing that the way to recovery can be difficult. A journalist wrote in a magazine that she had been agoraphobic for years, but could now go anywhere providing she took a special tablet 3 times a day. Now, she wrote, I have only to come off the tablets and I am cured. She had only to stop taking tranquilizers. In other words, while still lame, she had only to throw away her crutches and walk. Whether she could do this would depend on her luck the first time she tried to go out without her tablets. If she was confident and stayed confident, all could be well. But she needed only a slight shiver of doubt for panic to strike, and all could be lost. This applies to the return of all the symptoms of nervous illness when tranquilized away. Tranquilization merely postpones the time when symptoms must be faced to be cured. There is a place for tranquilization, but it should be chosen with discretion. I talk more about this later. The permanent cure for nervous illness, anxiety, based on fear of symptoms and experiences, as so much nervous illness is, begins by facing fear itself, especially at the peak of its intensity, the right way. While facing fear blindly is brave, it is too often futile and exhausting. For recovery, the sufferer must be shown how to face fear by accepting, floating, and letting time pass. Well, that is it for this video, but I will carry on with the next sort of aspects of facing fear and recovery in the next video. So I hope that was helpful for you. And if you didn't catch everything, you can always rewind it back and listen to it again. Okay then, until next time. Bye now.